Hello everyone and good afternoon. Welcome to today's webinar, and the webinar is being brought to you by Siksha.com and the University of Liverpool, UK. The topic for today's webinar is why you should consider studying at the University of Liverpool, UK. Now, before starting with the presentation, I would like to introduce our panelists today. The first panelist today with us is Ms. Misha Bhatt. She is the Country Development Manager, Indian Subcontinent International Recruitment Team. Misha graduated from her LLB Honours Law degree in 2014 and has since been supporting students who want to study in the UK. As the Country Development Manager for India at the University of Liverpool, Misha has provided information and guidance to hundreds of Indian students who want to further their education by studying in Liverpool. Misha is very happy to speak today with students about University of Liverpool, the entry requirements and the scholarship informations. Our second panelist today is Ms. Risha Mehta. She's the International Student Ambassador, and Rishma is a student ambassador for the University of Liverpool. Rishma joined the university from Pune, Maharashtra, and has just completed the first year of her LLB Honours Law degree. Rishma is very happy to speak with students about her experience at Liverpool and how she found moving from India to the UK for her studies. I would like Misha to please take over from here and start with the presentation.
Perfect. So thank you very much, Lakshmi. So hello everyone and welcome to this information session. This is for students who are interested in studying at the University of Liverpool. So my name is Misha, and as Lakshmi introduced me to say, I'm the Country Development Manager for India here at the University of Liverpool. So my main role is to support students like yourselves who would like to know more about the university, our entry requirements, how to apply scholarships, and I'm very, very happy to talk to you about all of these throughout the coming presentation. So I thought I'd start the presentation by showing you a picture of probably our most famous building within the university. So this building hosts our engineering and computer science students. And it's very well known for its red bricks, as you can see in the picture here. So with the red bricks, that's what sort of led to the term of Red Brick University. So Liverpool is known to be the founder and the original Red Brick University. So you'll see a couple of other buildings across our campus that also have these famous red bricks. And I hope you agree with me that it's a very beautiful building, and I'm very happy and very sort of lucky to be able to look out on that every single day from my office. So it's something that you'll see as you move to our campus if you choose to study with us. So next slide, please. So here is a list of all of the different areas that I'm going to talk to you about today. So over the next 30 to 40 minutes. And as Lakshmi introduced, we're also going to be joined by one of our student ambassadors, Rishma. So she's going to give you more information on what it's like to study as a student at the University of Liverpool. So she'll be able to give you that real insight as well. So to start with, I'm going to be going through our programs, our entry requirements, our fees and scholarships, and also just some general information about the University of Liverpool. So next slide, please. So I put this slide in so you can see our university motto, or our mantra, is for the advancement of learning and ennoblement of life. And this is something that we really take pride in at the University of Liverpool. So since our formation in 1881, we've been at the forefront of research and education, and that's something that's really important to us as we progress as a university. So we want to make sure that we're constantly developing and we're constantly taking place in research. So we want to make sure that as we grow as a community and as sort of a civilization, we want to make sure that we're building upon ourselves to build better services and a better life for people. So next slide, please. So before we move on to sort of entry requirements in our courses, I wanted to share some information with you on where Liverpool is located. So we're in the northwest of England, and we can be seen by the red dot on the map just here on the presentation. So we benefit from being very, very centrally located within the UK. So there's lots of opportunities for students to explore Liverpool and the surrounding areas, and along with the rest of the UK and further afield as well. So there's lots of connecting airports and connecting cities within the UK that means that you're able to travel elsewhere as well. So during holidays, that's something that our students do take advantage of. So on the map, we've also listed some of the other key cities in the UK. So you can see where we are in relation to London, for example, and in relation to Edinburgh in Scotland. So you can see that we're almost very central to both of those places. So from my own opinion, and I hope Rishma shares her opinion as well on sort of studying within Liverpool, within the northwest of England, I think that the northwest is one of the most beautiful parts of the country. There's so much to see, there's so much to do, and we're so lucky to be based where we are within Liverpool because of the connectivity, but also because the actual area itself is so pretty, so breathtaking, and I'm very lucky to have come from sort of this area as well. And next slide, please, Lakshmi. So just advancing on our location, we're within easy access to 2 airports. So we do have an airport within Liverpool. So this airport is mostly serviced within Europe. So we do get many students, as I said on the previous slide, that do want to travel during the holidays and see as much of the world as they can. So Liverpool Airport is very good for connectivity into Europe for the holidays, so you can go and explore the different countries directly from Liverpool. So that's something that we would encourage you to take advantage of. We also have Manchester Airport, which is Manchester International Airport. It's only 45 minutes away from Liverpool, and this would be our recommended airport of arrival. So we sort of recommend that you travel into Manchester because it's our closest international airport. So typically when I fly to India, you can either fly sort of Manchester to London, then London directly to cities within India, or some people take stops within Dubai. So it's entirely up to you. There are a lot of flight opportunities for you to get to Manchester Airport. So as you can see, we're in easy travelling distance to many of the major UK cities, which includes London, which can be accessed by train within 2 hours and 15 minutes. Manchester, as I say, is around 45 minutes away, and Newcastle and Edinburgh. So hopefully these are all cities that you've heard of and you might want to explore as a student. So we would definitely encourage our students to go and see as much of the UK as you can, because it would now be your opportunity to do that. So I definitely would recommend to see as much as you can. Next slide, please. So just a little bit about the university. So the university was established in 1881 and we're one of the founding members of the Russell Group. So the Russell Group are a group of research-intensive universities. So students will be taught by active researchers within their area. So those professors, they're all advancing their knowledge to make sure that they're at the forefront of their area of research and their area of teaching. So that's something that we find a lot of students are really attracted to the university by, because they want to make sure that they're being taught by professors who are experts within their field. And that's something that we're able to provide at the University of Liverpool. We have 9 Nobel Prize winners who have studied at the university, and this covers a range of different areas from physics to physiology, medicine, also even to the Nobel Peace Prize. So we're very, very proud of the alumni that we have from the university, and I'll come on to the alumni a little bit later on within the presentation. As an institution, we are very proud to cover a range of different topics and a range of different programmes, and we have the full clinical education portfolio, and we were the first university to set up key academic departments in the UK. So you can see from the slides in architecture, biochemistry, civic design and oceanography. So for example, the University of Liverpool was the first institution within the UK to receive RIBA accreditation for our architecture programmes. So that just shows the quality of the courses that we have available at the university and that we'd love to share with our students, which is exactly what we're here to do today. So we have a large student population. So we have around 33,000 students at the university, and they come from over 130 different countries. So around 8,000 of our students are international. So that allows students to study in a very diverse environment and make contacts with people from all over the world. So we find that a lot of our students, they build their friendships with people from different countries, and that's something that we actively encourage. I know one of my friends, she actually met somebody from Australia, and she's from the UK originally, and she's been over to Australia to see her friend that she made at university. I've also had somebody who's met friends with people in India and Sri Lanka. So they've also gone out to India and Sri Lanka to see those people as well. So it's great to sort of build those friendships and make those connections at university. And it's something that we really hope that you'll enjoy while studying at the university. We also have a very strong alumni network. So we've got alumni from over 171 countries, which again shows how diverse the university is, and again is something that we're incredibly proud of. So next slide, please, Lakshmi. So not only is Liverpool a fantastic university, hopefully you'll agree from the information that I've given you, but the city of Liverpool itself has a number of different accolades which attract students from all over the world. So we've got more than sort of around 54 million visitors each year that come to the city. So that's just tourists. So they're all people that have heard about the city of Liverpool and really want to see it for themselves and sort of immerse themselves into the sort of Liverpool environment, really. So we're famous for our connection with the Beatles and famous for our 2 Premier League football clubs. So Liverpool and Everton are our 2 football clubs. So I know that people have different preferences on the football teams that they support. Personally, I'm a Liverpool fan. I feel like I've got to be sort of studying and sort of working at the University of Liverpool. So Liverpool also has a thriving music and art scene as well. So we have the highest number of museums and galleries outside of London. So again, that makes us sort of very well known for our culture and sort of the city, and people want to come and see those areas and those galleries and those museums. So according to What Uni, we were named as the best city for student life in 2018. And we're also in the top 10 most affordable student cities in the UK in 2019. So that's something that we find a lot of students really want to know. They want to know that they can finance themselves to live within that university or within that city. So we're very happy that we've been named one of the most affordable student cities. So we were also voted as the kindest and the friendliest UK city in the Travelodge National Survey. So that's something that actually we take, we're very, very happy with and very sort of personally happy with as well. So just to give you a bit of background, I'm not originally from Liverpool. I don't know if you can tell because I haven't got the sort of the typical Scouse accent that you might be familiar with from people in Liverpool. But I'm originally from a city about an hour away from Liverpool. And when I first moved to the city, I found that that was one of the first things that struck me, is how friendly and how kind the community is. So that's something that I'm very happy that Liverpool has been recognised for that, because I myself, having moved to a different city that I wasn't familiar with, that's something that really did stand out to me. So I hope that you'll be able to experience that as well if you chose to come and study at Liverpool. And then also, according to the Sunday Times in 2019, Liverpool was voted as the best place to be a graduate for employability, opportunities, affordability and lifestyle. So there are 4 categories that we think and we hope are really important to a graduate. We want to make sure that you've got employment opportunities and that it is affordable to live within the city, and also that you have a great graduate experience. So of course, sort of going and studying for your degree, the main sort of thing that you want from that is that you've enhanced your employment skills. But we also want to make sure that you enjoy your life generally, and there's lots of opportunities available for you to socialise and make new friends and sort of feed into that community. So we hope that Liverpool will be able to provide you with that. Next slide, please, Lakshmi. So just looking at the rankings of the university, so here are some of our global and UK rankings. You can see from this slide that our rankings, as I say, are both worldwide and within the UK. The rankings are each based on a range of different criteria, and that includes things like teaching quality, student satisfaction, employability, student experience, and also the research element as well. So as I say, we're very proud to be a very research-intensive university. So we're very pleased to be in the top 30 within the UK and then the top 200 worldwide universities as well. Also, this is just very, very sort of new. So a new ranking was released earlier this week, and it's the Centre for World University Rankings. And the university placed 134th out of all universities within the world, and also 14th within the UK. So we're very, very pleased that the university is getting the recognition for the quality institution that it is. And I myself am very proud to work at the university. So next slide, please, Lakshmi. So we do pride ourselves on the innovative careers support that we're able to provide for our students. So we're among the top 25 UK universities targeted by graduate employers. So the reason that we're highly targeted is because of the range of careers support that we're able to provide for our students. So we have lots of different employers and companies that come and visit the university and they engage with our students. So there's many ways that our sort of connections with employers and companies, there's lots of examples of how they engage with our students. So for example, we host consultancy challenges where we have companies that come onto campus and provide students with a challenge, and they've got to sort of come up with their own ideas and their own solutions as to how they solve that challenge, and then they pitch it back to those employers. So that's a great opportunity for you to show off your skills to prospective employers. We also have careers fairs throughout the year. So we do have general university careers fairs where lots of different employers from different backgrounds will come to the university. But we also have sort of departmental specific careers fairs as well, where specific employers for that region or that subject area will come and speak to our students about the opportunities that they've got available. And then we also have employers that come and deliver seminars for our students. So the seminars do really range. It could be things on what jobs are available at that company. It could also be sort of new advancements within that company. So what is that company currently doing within their area? So just more information sessions. But students will have access to all of these. So regardless of which course you're on, you're able to go to any of those sessions to make sure that you sort of take advantage of all those opportunities that are available to you. So we also, in addition to that, we have a dedicated careers service. So that's right in the centre of our campus, and it's a centre that allows you to drop into the careers team anytime between 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So any time between working hours, students are able to go in and support is always on hand for you there. So the careers team will be able to help you with searching for available jobs, completing and submitting applications, practicing interviews with you, and giving you feedback on those to make sure that you're best prepared. There's lots of ways that our careers service can support you. And this support has actually led us to become 22nd in the UK for graduate employability. And also we're very proud of the stat that 97% of all the university graduates are in employment or further study within 6 months of graduating. So it just shows how much support is available for you and how much of a focus we have on careers. We want to make sure that you enjoy your time at the university and your university experience, but we also want to make sure that you benefit and progress onto those great things and sort of develop on with your career. So that's something that is integrated and is very, very important to us. Next slide, please, Lakshmi. Oh, Lakshmi, are you there?
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Misha. Lakshmi has had a sudden internet problem. Everyone, please be on hold for a minute. She's trying to reconnect.
No problem at all. So whilst we're waiting for Lakshmi to join the presentation again, I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview about what the next slide is going to include, just so that you know what to expect and you know what to sort of see what's coming next. So just following on from our graduate employability, I wanted to share with you some of the employers that we work with. So I know that this is a very big question that a lot of students ask, and they want to make sure that their sort of career ambitions are going to be catered for. So the next slide will show you some of the employers that we work with. So there are many different employers that we work with. And what I've done on the next slide is break that down into sort of our key areas. So we find that sort of engineering, computer science and the management school are very popular sort of courses for our students from India. So I've listed some of the employers from each of those departments so that you can see for yourselves exactly what areas that we look into. So for example, for engineering, we have partners with Airbus, Bentley, British Airways, Jaguar Land Rover, and the National Nuclear. Oh. Oh, perfect. Thank you very much. So now you can see our sort of employers that we have from those different areas that I just mentioned. So for, as I was saying, sort of Airbus, British Airways, Jaguar Land Rover, Network Rail, Rolls-Royce for engineering. Computer science, we work with BAE Systems, which is very local to Liverpool. Hewlett-Packard, Google, IBM, Logica, Microsoft. Hopefully these are all companies that you've heard of and that you might have a career aspiration to go and work with one day. And then management as well. So Coca-Cola have come in to do sort of consultancy challenges with us. There's Cadbury's, Ernst & Young are sort of more sort of related to the finance industry. Grant Thornton, KPMG, Kellogg's. As you can see, there's a lot of different employers that we work with, and that's something that we do really pride ourselves on to make sure that students have all these opportunities available to them once they graduate. The next slide, please, Lakshmi. Thank you. So Liverpool consists of 3 key faculties. So we've got our Health and Life Sciences faculty, Humanities and Social Sciences, and then also Science and Engineering. So you can see each of the departments that we have within each of these faculties on the screen. So we do have a very broad range of courses that are available at the university. So hopefully you'll be able to find a course that you are interested in studying at the university. But for a full list of every single course that we offer, I would always recommend that you have a look at our website. So you can select whether you're interested in an undergraduate or postgraduate course, and then just start typing in the subject that you're interested in, and then all of the courses that are associated with that will populate. So hopefully, as I say, you'll be able to find a course that's suitable for you. So next slide, please. So I thought it'd be useful to share with you some of the most popular courses that we have with our Indian students. So as you can see from the undergraduate courses, law is unsurprisingly one of the most popular for our undergraduate students. I'll let Rishma explain why she chose Liverpool and why she sort of chose to study law in a few slides' time. The sort of keen-eyed of you will have also seen that I did a law degree. I think it's just a very interesting area to work in and do your research in. So I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people choose law, is because it's very sort of engaging and there's lots of different research areas that you can focus on. So as you can see from sort of the undergraduate and postgraduate programs, in addition to law, we get a lot of interest in computer science, engineering and management. So they tend to be our sort of most popular, most applied for courses within India. But we do also have interest in areas like psychology, architecture, and medicine, dentistry. So if your course is not listed there, don't be put off, not a problem at all. I would recommend to just have a look at our website to see whether we do offer that. I just thought I'd choose a selection just to give you an example of the programs that we have to offer. The next slide, please. So now I'm going to go through our entry requirements for the programs that we have to offer. So for students interested in undergraduate courses, you'll see that our entry requirements on our website are listed in A-levels. Now that's because A-levels is sort of the most common curriculum studied within the UK. However, it's very easy to convert that A-level requirement into a standard 12 score. We also have on our website IB and our A-level scores. So if you are studying from the International Baccalaureate programme, that's not a problem at all. Just have a check on our website, and right at the top, it'll for the course that you're interested in, it will tell you exactly what the score is that you need to achieve. So as you can see from our standard 12 scores, our entry requirements will range from sort of 70% up to around 85%. And above. So these just give you some examples of what those entry requirements are. But as I say, they differ per the course that you're interested in. So your percentage that we take into consideration will be based on your best 4 core subjects, and that must include English. So for some courses, we may ask for specific scores in certain subjects. So for example, if you wanted to go onto an engineering programme, we'd be looking for you to have a science background within your standard 12 studies. And again, all of that is listed on our website, and we even have a dedicated page for Indian students, so you can see exactly what the requirements are, and you can see this conversion as well. Next slide, please. So for postgraduate students, and this is the same for sort of postgraduate taught and postgraduate research students, we would ask that you have a minimum of 60% in your previous qualification. So for example, if you want to study a master's programme, we'd ask for a 60% from your bachelor's degree. Whereas if you want to study a PhD or a research programme, we'd ask that you have a master's at 60% before progressing on to a PhD. So with the postgraduate entry requirements, they seem to be much more sort of straightforward at the standard 60% that we ask for. So again, there may be some subject specific requirements. We do offer some conversion courses. So if you want to advance into a new area that you've never studied before, we do offer some conversion courses. But as I say, some courses may ask for a specific background. So it's always good to check that on our website before you submit your application. And next slide, please. So we accept a variety of English language qualifications, and that includes IELTS, it includes TOEFL, and each course will have a different requirement. So it's really important that you check our website specifically for the requirement for your course. We do, however, accept standard 12. So we look at your standard 12 grades, and if you've achieved over 70% in your standard 12 English in central and metro state boards, that would automatically meet our entry requirements. So you don't need to submit an additional English language test. So if you've got that 70%, regardless of whether it's for an undergraduate or postgraduate programme, you would automatically meet those requirements, so there's no need for an IELTS score. Next slide, please. So fees and scholarships, as sort of rolling with the theme of the previous couple of slides, our fees do depend on which course it is that you've applied for, and there is a real range in sort of the courses and the costs available for them. On each of the individual pages for the courses, there will be a fees tab, and that will tell you exactly how much your tuition fees will be. So again, I would recommend making sure that you check our website to check the fees before you submit your application. We do, however, offer a range of different generous scholarships for students, and these are dependent on a number of factors. So I'm going to talk you through the different scholarships that we have available at the university. But just one thing to note is that once you receive your offer letter, don't worry that your scholarships aren't included in your offer letter. So you'll be notified of your scholarship eligibility separately to your offer. So first you'll receive your offer letter, and then sort of a week or two later, then you would be notified about your scholarships. So next slide, please. So our key scholarships for undergraduate students, we have our Vice Chancellors International Attainment Scholarship. So this is for, as I say, for undergraduate students looking for a bachelor's programme. So as you can see here, it's if students achieve 80% in their standard 12, they'll receive a £2,000 fee reduction, and this is for their first year of studies. If students achieve 90% in their standard 12 or above, they'd receive a £2,500 tuition fee reduction in their first year of studies. So what happens is that when you submit your application, we'll automatically look at your transcripts, and we'll automatically look at your whole application and see if you're eligible for any of these scholarships. So there's no separate application necessary. It is all automated. So we also offer our University of Liverpool First Class Scholarship. So again, this is for undergraduate students. And the way that this scholarship works is that if students achieve a first class in their first year, for example, we would take £1,000 off their tuition fees in their second year. And then if they maintain a first class within their second year, we would then take another £1,000 off their third year tuition fees. So that's something that sort of gives students a little bit of motivation to take some of the costing of their tuition fees and push for those really sort of strong grades. Again, this is automatic and you don't need to apply for it separately. Next slide, please. So postgraduate scholarships. We have a number of different scholarships with regards to postgraduate students. So we offer both general scholarships that are available for anyone regardless of what course you're on. And then we also offer sort of subject specific scholarships. So first of all, I'm going to show you our general scholarships. So the first one is our Vice Chancellors International Attainment Scholarship. So for this one, it's a £2,500 tuition fee reduction, and it's for students that have achieved the equivalent of a UK first class degree. So for a BEng or a BTech, it would be 70% or above. So for all other degree programs, like a BCom, for example, it would be 65%. So again, we would automatically look at your transcripts and see what grades you've achieved, and then we would award that automatically, no separate application needed. The same is the case for our Commonwealth Postgraduate Bursary. So this is a £2,000 fee reduction for all Commonwealth students. So because India is part of the Commonwealth, that's something that you will all be eligible for. So that's a guaranteed £2,000 tuition fee reduction for all Commonwealth students. So you can receive both of these awards together. So that would be, if you meet the requirements, it would be a total of £4,500 of a tuition fee reduction, which is a very strong tuition fee reduction. So as I say, no application necessary, will automatically consider you for all of these. We do have some additional scholarships, however, these do require a separate application. So we've got the Chevening Scholarship, and that's an external scholarship offering a partial fee waiver. So this is something that you'd need to apply to Chevening directly. So it's not administered by the University of Liverpool, but the University of Liverpool is a university that is able to receive students with that scholarship. So there's a separate application for that, and you can find that on our website. And then we also have a Sport Liverpool Scholarship. So this is up to £2,000 to support student sporting performance. So if a student plays at regional or national level, they are welcome to submit an application for a sporting scholarship. And then, as I say, they can get up to £2,000 directly to the individual. Next slide, please. So we also offer subject-specific scholarships, specifically within our management school. So this includes either a full or partial fee waiver for our MBA programme. So as you can see from the top sort of line just here, that's something that we offer based on an excellent academic profile and work experience. So we don't have sort of set criteria for this scholarship. It's our scholarships team will have a look at all applications, and we will make a decision on which ones of those stand out. So which ones of those have great work experience that show that they've got experience of managing projects, people, budgets, all that sort of thing. They've got that really strong work experience. We also offer, so just below that, the University of Liverpool Management School India Excellence Scholarship. So this is something that's a partial fee waiver, so 50% or up to 50% for Indian students with an offer to study an MSc programme within the management school. So that's important that it is only for management school courses. Again, this is for those with an excellent academic profile. So we'll automatically, for both of these scholarships, look at your application. Typically, in terms of grades, we'd like to see a minimum of 65% in order to be eligible for these scholarships. And then we'd also look at your statement of purpose and see what sort of experience you have in addition to your grades. So next slide, please. So that's the end of my session on sort of general information about the University of Liverpool, entry requirements, scholarships. I'm very happy to answer any questions that students have. So Lakshmi, would you like to see if there's any questions that students would like to ask?
Yeah, sure, Misha. I have a lot of questions from students, and now I'm going to ask those questions on behalf. Okay. So the first question I've got is this is from Shoroma Day, and she's saying, want to know how can I get into your college and take masters in psychology, as I don't have psychology background.
Okay, so with psychology, with our courses, we would ask that you have a psychological background. So we don't offer a conversion course within our School of Psychology. However, we do offer sort of foundation, like master's foundation programs with the University of Liverpool International College. So that's a route that you may be interested in taking. So we can share information on the University of Liverpool International College and how to apply with you. So I can work with Lakshmi to make sure that you've got that information. So the University of Liverpool International College is a joint venture between Kaplan and the University of Liverpool. So students who study on that foundation programme will be eligible for entry onto the University of Liverpool's programmes, providing you meet a certain score. So that is a route that is available to you. But if you were interested in applying for the foundation route, I would also recommend to make sure you get in touch with Kaplan directly, because they administer the programme. So you would actually submit your application to Kaplan rather than the University of Liverpool.
Okay. So I'll take the next question. This is from Najihatul Asikan Rahman, and he's asking how long it takes to process a postgraduate application, or are there any interviews for MBA admissions?
Yeah, of course. So in terms of processing applications, we would typically hope that students would hear back from us sort of 3, 4, 5 weeks. is sort of our standard turnaround time. However, due to the current situation with COVID, our admissions team are all working from home. So I think a lot of people may have found that the internet may be not as strong at home. I don't know if, I've seen that myself personally. I don't know if any of you have seen that also. So it is just taking that little bit longer with applications. So we really appreciate students' patience with this. So if you have submitted an application, I'll share my contact details at the end of the presentation, and you're very welcome to get in contact with me and I can check the status of your application for you. And that's not a problem at all. I'd be very, very happy to do that. So in terms of MBA, we don't ask for an interview for an MBA program. So we're able to make conditional offers on the basis of your actual application. So from your academics and from your SOP and from your CV as well.
Okay. So I have next question from Kezia. Kezia is asking how to go about the admission in this time of pandemic, because the borders are closed and we cannot travel international. And are there any provisions that these classes are going to be online, or are these going to be on campus?
So at the end of the presentation, I've got a lot of sort of FAQs and a lot of information on the current status with the whole situation with COVID. So just to give you, I'll give you a brief overview now, and then I'll give you more details towards the end of the presentation, if that's okay. So with the current situation, we would still encourage you to submit your applications. However, we are being very, very flexible with our entry requirements. So we've removed the criteria to have references because that's something that students aren't able to get hold of because of the universities being closed. So that's one way that we're trying to be very, very flexible. And we're also accepting sort of provisional transcripts and provisional certificates if students have those available. So we're able to make offers based on those as well. So as much as we can, we're trying to provide as much flexibility with the admissions process. So I'll share more information with sort of later on in the presentation with you. But in terms of start dates and in terms of online learning versus face-to-face teaching, what we're planning on doing is we're going ahead with our intake for this year. And what we've done, instead of having thousands of students all arrive at the university at the same time, we've staggered our intakes to make sure that students can arrive on the campus safely. So we have some intakes in October, some in November, some in January, and a very small amount in February as well. So that's sort of the approach that we've taken on making sure that you can travel safely. And there's lots of sort of things in place to make sure that our students are safeguarded and they feel supported throughout this whole experience. You can find on our website exactly what the start date is for your specific course. So as I say, we've broken it down into those different entry points, and each course has been given an allocated start date. In terms of the actual teaching when you're here on campus, so we are taking very much a blended approach to learning. So with social distancing measures likely to be in place still towards the end of the year, so when our intake happens, it would be pretty much impossible to have large lectures of 200 students all socially distanced at the same time in a safe manner. So it's likely that those large lectures will go online to make sure that everybody has the access to the same quality of education. However, we are committed to making sure that students still have that face-to-face opportunity. So you'll still have sort of lab and seminar sessions that will take place face-to-face, and they'll be in much smaller groups for you. So it's very much a mixture of the two, and we're trying to adapt to the circumstances that we're currently finding ourselves in. And then just lastly, for any student that is unable to travel due to travel restrictions, or if you don't feel comfortable traveling initially, we will be giving you online provision. So if you didn't want to travel, or if there's travel restrictions in place, you can start your course online if that's something that's necessary for you.
Okay, great. So I'll take the next question. This is from Piyush. Piyush is asking, firstly, I would like to know if the university offers law conversion courses and the process of applying for it. And secondly, I would like to know what is going to be the scope for jobs in this for the student who choose to pursue these courses.
So would I just be able to ask an additional question? Is it for undergraduate courses or is it for postgraduate courses?
It is not mentioned that this is for which
program. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. So for our undergraduate courses, there's no experience of law required. But for our postgraduate programs, we would ask that you have a legal background. So you've got a law sort of or relevant qualification prior to your master's.
I'll just check, Piyush, if you're online, I can unmute you and you can ask the question directly to Misha. Piyush, I have unmuted you. You can ask your question directly to Misha. She will be able to help you with your query. I think you have self-muted yourself, Piyush.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So my question is, suppose I already pursued a bachelor's in business and I feel like I'd like to pursue law in England. So I'd have to take either GDL or something like that? Or what's the law conversion? Yeah, so I was wondering if the...
Yeah, so we do actually have a graduate course at our Liverpool campus. So that's something that you'd be able to apply for and study with us at the university. So I just wanted to know a little bit about your background, whether it was undergraduate or master's that you're looking for. But yes, in answer to your question, you can study the graduate diploma in law.
What prerequisites would be required of me to pursue this course?
So for these courses, it's for students that don't have a background, obviously, in law, so it's the conversion. We don't have sort of a specific set of requirements on our website, but it would typically be a 60% or above from your bachelor's program that we would accept onto the course.
Okay.
So that would really be the prerequisite. It would be your academic requirements and also your English language as well.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Piyush. Okay, we'll take one last question and then we'll forward with Rishma's presentation. Okay, Okay, this is Janvi Oza. She's asking, do you offer MSc in sustainability or sustainable engineering? And am I eligible for the 50% fee waiver scholarship for Indian students?
So with regards to our courses, we do offer a sustainable civil and structural engineering program. So for that program, we would ask that you have 60% or above from your bachelor's degree. And we'd also ask that your background is in civil engineering or structural engineering for entry onto the program. So that's what your bachelor's would need to be from. Unfortunately, the 50% fee waiver is only for the management school. So we don't offer that for our engineering courses, I'm afraid.
Okay. Right. So moving next to Rishma. Rishma, you can take over.
Hi everyone, my name is Rishma and I'm a student in Bachelor at the university. I study law and I just finished my first year and I'll be starting my second year this September. The reason why I chose Liverpool is because firstly, I loved the course that it offered for law. It was extremely in-depth, and secondly, when I compared it to other universities in the UK, I found that it offered so many more opportunities to the students. And the facilities that the university has is also amazing. You can go to the next slide, Lakshmi. So the facilities, we have 24-hour libraries. Yeah, these are extremely modern and they have so many top-notch facilities. I personally spend so much time in the library and I love spending time because just the atmosphere is amazing. And also the collection of resources that they have is extremely vast. It really helped me when I had to work on my coursework. and also for postgraduate research papers. It's really helpful, and the university does give you access to a lot of resources. Secondly, something that I really found interesting is the career service. As you can see, it's award-winning. And as someone who wanted to work during studying, this was something that really stood out to me. So the career service, as Nisha mentioned, is extremely good. They help with everything from finding a part-time job, and then they help you throughout the whole application process. So be it reviewing a CV and tailoring it towards a particular job, and then also setting up mock interviews, they help you with everything. So that's something that really helped me, and it's something that makes Liverpool one of the best for employability. So they really help, and students really appreciate it. And then another thing is that the student support is excellent for international students. The International Advice and Guidance team helps you with everything, be it budgeting, visa issues, moving in. And something that I really appreciated that they did was during my welcome week in September, they set up so many different talks, such as how to budget, getting used to the British culture, understanding the accent. So these talks really helped me settle down and familiarize myself with the culture and the university generally. So that's something that's really helpful for international students specifically, and they really do help a lot. So your move it'll be really seamless. And another thing is the sports center. This is something that's also really popular among students. They have so many facilities, such as a well-equipped gym. They have weekly fitness classes like yoga, dance, and then they also have badminton courts, basketball courts, football, soccer. So it's kind of everything together, and it's right in the middle of campus. So it's very convenient. It's next to your classes, and it's very popular among students. And then another thing that really stood out to me is the Liverpool Guild of Students. It's the student union, and they have over 200 societies on campus. Be it cultural societies, fun societies, and academic societies. They have everything. So an example of academic societies is a range of legal societies, engineering, management, physics, anything you can think of. And then fun societies like DJ societies, Harry Potter, baking, just anything you can think of. And then something that I really like to point out is the cultural society. So through these societies, there's a big Indian community on campus. So this is something that I found extremely helpful and really helped me settle down because I made so many new friends. And something that I thought that I'll miss when I moved to Liverpool is celebrating Indian festivals. But through these Indian societies, I got to celebrate all the festivals on campus, and it was something that really helped me. And it let me meet so many new people. You can move to the next slide, please. And then also the accommodation is something that I really liked. I personally stayed on campus accommodation in my first year. And you can see that they offer so many different options with facilities. So a private bedroom, ensuite bathroom, a shared area among student and studio. So they have different options based on the locations and prices. So my experience was excellent because the closest friends I made this year was through the student halls. And I found that the student hall committees really went out of their way to help us settle down. And they organized so many events for different festivals, which I wouldn't have celebrated if I was over here. So it really introduced me and opened me up to different cultures too. So it's something I'd really recommend. So if you're a postgraduate student and you apply by 31st July, and if you're an undergraduate student and you apply by 31st August, the university aims to guarantee you accommodation. And I would really recommend it since it really helped me settle down in my first year. Next slide, please. And I think, yeah, so another reason why I love Liverpool so much is because I call it the perfect student city. I think Nisha mentioned that it's home to 6 universities and 90,000 students. It's also a very popular tourist destination. It's known to be known for its World Heritage skyline, and it's known to be a thriving arts, music, and cultural capital. Misha mentioned that it's also it has the most museums and galleries outside of London. It's the birthplace of the famous band, the Beatles, and it's home to 2 Premier League football clubs, and it's great for shopping and dining. Next slide, please. One thing that I really like about Liverpool is that it's extremely close. The campus is extremely close to the city center. And one of my favorite things is the shopping and dining, because they have so many different shopping and dining outlets, and it's just a getaway on the weekend. So it's really popular among students. And one thing that I think most students like is that there's a street called Bow Street, which is full of restaurants, and I'd say it caters to almost every country. So it's literally global cuisine, and the food is delicious. So it's something that's really like gets me through the weekend. Yeah, next slide, please. And then Liverpool is also known to be one of the best for its music and nightlife. This is also something that students engage in a lot during weekends. And there are so many different clubs, which are always full, I must say. And there's always live music going on, and so many concert venues too. So this is, if you're interested in just going out and unwinding, this is something that you would really enjoy, because I mean, it's just fun, just a break from your studies, and the atmosphere is amazing. And then also Misha mentioned that it's very rich culturally. There are so many different museums in Liverpool, such as the Beatles Museum, the Slavery Museum, the Maritime Museum. So all of these museums really uplift the cultural history, and they really do just make it a popular tourist destination too. So that is something that people really enjoy too. Next slide, please. I think the next slide talks about sports, which I can actually attest to. I said that it's home to 2 popular football clubs, and although I don't like football, I did go for a football match in December at Anfield Stadium, and I must say that I would go again just for the atmosphere to relive that. It was amazing. It was almost as good as cricket in India. And I know that football is a very popular sport, and especially Liverpool FC, people really like it. So this is something that you will not want to miss and it's just like a popular thing. Again, a lot of tourists come to see this, and I really recommend it even if you're not into sports. So that was something I really enjoyed. One of my favorite moments of Liverpool. Next slide, please. And then I think it talks about the greenery and nature in Liverpool. So I think Liverpool is one of the cities which has everything. So there's so many green spaces on the campus itself. And then there are so many gardens generally in the city. And then there's so many other beaches close to Liverpool. So it's one city which has everything, and people love to just go to these places on a sunny day and just sit out. The picture on top is actually Abercrombie Square, and it was right next to where I stayed in my first year, and I enjoyed it a lot. I used to just go out and sit on sunny days, and it was just nice to sit and study over there. So I really loved it. The campus is extremely beautiful, and it's just nice to spend time over there. Next slide, please. The university offers the service for the Manchester Airport meet and greet. So Misha mentioned that Liverpool won an award for City Life category, which obviously you can see that all of these factors such as music and nightlife and sports and culture and the university has really contributed to it, and it's a popular student interest, and of course it has one of the fastest growing economies in the UK. Next slide, please. Right, so I was talking about the Manchester Airport meet and greet. So Misha said that we recommend international students to fly into Manchester Airport as it's close to Liverpool and it's the big international airport. So the university does offer this service where a few representatives from the university plus a few student ambassadors like me would be at the airport to receive you once your flight lands and we'll take you back to Liverpool. I think it's an excellent service which really just like starts your university life with friendly faces. So if you are staying on campus accommodation, this will be free for you, but even if you're staying in private accommodation, you can still avail this, but it will be for free. But I really will recommend this since it's just a nice start to university life. Yeah. I think Nisha will take over now to give you some more information.
I'm just sharing my webcam now, hopefully. Just 1 second. There we go. So thank you very much for that, Rishma. I completely agree with you on Bold Street as being one of the best places to go within Liverpool. It's got so many shopping and eating outlets. As Rishma said, Liverpool is one of the places where you can get so many different cuisines. And I have to admit, I think I spent like a week once, just every single night going to a different restaurant to try a different cuisine, and it was amazing. So once you're here at Liverpool, I would definitely recommend checking that out. So just moving on to our Uni Connect scheme. So we know that it's a massive decision for you to make, deciding whether you'd like to come to Liverpool or even the UK. So we want to sort of give you the opportunity to make sure that you can speak to students who are currently on your course, so that you can find out more information about the course, or about moving sort of from India to the UK, or about all the societies that Rishma mentioned. So what this sort of platform is, it's called Uni Body. And you can see a profile of each of our student ambassadors, and it tells you which country they're from, what course they're studying, and a little bit more about them. So what their societies are, what their interests are, and then you can select different ambassadors to speak to. So you can speak to as many ambassadors as you like through this programme. So I would definitely recommend to sort of go online and just have a chat with them and find out more about the course, and make sure that it's the right sort of course for you and it offers the right modules that you're interested in. So at the moment, this service is available for our offer holders. So once you've submitted your application to the university and received your offer, you will then be contacted about speaking to an ambassador. But we are hoping to expand this out in the future to all of everybody that's interested in Liverpool, really. At the moment, it is just a trial with our offer holders, but as I say, hopefully in the months to come, we'll be expanding that for everybody. So I would definitely recommend that you have a look at that and check it out, and maybe speak to Rishma again. So next slide, please. So this is actually a quote from Rishma. So we thought it'd be really nice to add this in because Rishma's also joined the presentation. So Rishma, do you want to just sort of go over this quote and just give a little bit more detail on it at all? Just because since it's your words, I don't want to just sort of take your words when you're here, so you might as well.
Yeah, no, I basically spoke about the employability and how the university goes out of its way to help us boost our CVs and gives us the opportunity to engage with so many professionals in our field, which again gives us the exposure to so many more to develop our skills and to just work with them. So the main thing that I think emphasized in my presentation too was that I was really happy with the support that the university gives us in terms of employment. This year I did so much, and I got the opportunity to get so many internships in the summer just because of this. So I was really happy with how they help us with our CV and gives us the exposure to develop skills and just get in exposure to professionals in our field. So yeah, since I do law, we had so many barristers, solicitors, legal counsels come in and give talks and just tips about how to apply to law firms and top commercial law firms. And I really appreciate the effort that the university did, because when I compared it with other students in other universities, I found that they didn't get as much exposure as Liverpool gave us. So that was something that I really appreciated. That's basically what I was talking about in my quote. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rishma. So we want to make sure, as I said on the previous slide, that you've got the opportunity to see exactly what our students are doing and what their thoughts and opinions are. So as you look throughout our website and also on the India specific pages, you'll see more quotes like this. So these have come directly from our students, and we just thought it would be a nice touch to share those with you so that you get that insight into what life is like as a student at Liverpool. So next slide, please. So Earlier on in the presentation, we got asked a question about the current situation with COVID and what we're doing for next year to support our students. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of information now, in addition to what I mentioned earlier on in the presentation. So as I said, we've got very flexible start dates. So undergraduate programs will be starting sort of the beginning of October is the official start date for those programs. But we do want you to bear in mind that at the moment there is a 14-day quarantine period for sort of students and everybody that's coming in internationally to the UK. So well, anybody that's coming into the UK really is on that quarantine. So we want to make sure that you're able to sit through that, sort of feel supported through that 14-day quarantine period, and also start your course on time. So that's something that's really important to bear in mind. For our postgraduate programs, that's where we're dividing them up into sort of October, November and January intakes. So I would definitely recommend to have a look on our website to see which date is the most relevant for you. So when you actually arrive onto the campus, we are ensuring that we provide access for all students and staff to free COVID-19 testing. So that will be provided by the university, and it will be all on our campus. And results will be provided within 24 hours. So that will also complement any available to the public at the time. So really we're just adding this as an additional level to make sure that our students feel safe and feel secure at the university. When you join us, we'll be providing you with washable face coverings, and that will be for every student, and it will be distributed as part of our welcome programme, along with how they should be used, so making sure that you're wearing them correctly. As I said earlier on, we're making sure that our students feel supported in the actual application process. So we don't want students to be put off from applying to the university due to the current pandemic. So we're being much more flexible on our entry requirements. So ordinarily, our English language test validity period would only be 2 years, but we've now extended this to 3 years to allow students that greater flexibility. As I've said earlier in the presentation, we've removed the requirement for academic or employment references, and that's for all applicants for UG, master's courses and PhD programmes. So that should make the application process a lot smoother for you. Next slide, please. As I said earlier on as well, we've removed the requirement for complete and original transcripts and degree certificates. So we'll accept provisional documents and confirmation letters from your previous institution. Please just make sure that if you have any of those outstanding, submit them to the relevant email address, which I'll show you on the next slide. We want to make sure that your learning environment allows you to fully engage in your studies, and this is what I said before about the combination of face-to-face teaching and virtual classes. So that will be the blended approach that we take to our teaching. We want to make sure that you've got a teaching schedule that reduces the volume of students moving around the campus at any one time. So this will mean that we won't be putting sort of lectures from sort of one end of the campus and you have to walk all the way through to the other. We want to make sure that there's less travel across the campus in order to maintain social distancing and make sure that you're safe. A campus environment that continues to offer safe access to the university grounds. So although we'll be sort of making sure that we reduce the volume of students moving around campus at any one time, we still want to make sure that you still enjoy the campus and that you're able to go and sit in Abercrombie Square and things like that. We want to make sure that you do really feel immersed into the culture and the sort of community that Liverpool is. So we'll be making sure that we offer that for students. And this will be supported by sort of new arrangements to ensure that safe, socially distant study spaces are available also within our libraries. We're looking into one-way walking routes so that you're not sort of crossing paths with a lot of different people, so that you can still sort of maintain that social distance. And we're also looking at adapted catering facilities, again, to make sure that your safety and security is at the forefront of our work. So we're also looking at how this will impact our sport and leisure opportunities. So we know that this is something that students really are interested in when they come to university. They want to partake in all those different societies that Rishma mentioned. So again, we're also looking at those to see how we can best maximise that. And then finally, we want to put in place arrangements that allow students the high standards of accommodation in our university halls of residence. So that'll include like a phased arrival process and contactless arrival to make sure, again, that your safety and social distancing measures are in place. So that we're making sure that that won't detract from your welcome from the university. So as much as we can, we're wanting to make sure that you still have that sort of wow factor when you arrive at the university. But with the current situation, we just want to make sure that it's in a safe way. So next slide, please. So as I said, we want to make sure that you still have that great university experience. So we're looking into ways to make sure that you're able to make friends, join those societies, those networks, and enjoy everything in a safe way. So therefore, we're also looking at sort of our career service, our support systems, and our sort of information advice and guidance team. And again, they'll be operating with a mixture of different platforms that will support students. And that can be on a range of different things, so online, telephone, face-to-face, and it'll be tailored to what you need. So if you're in your quarantine period and you're sort of within your accommodation, we'll make sure that we arrange online and telephone activities for you. Whereas if you're not, then we'll try as much as we can to make sure that it's face-to-face so you get that support. And then finally, as I said, if you're unable to come to campus due to travel restrictions, or if you prefer to delay a little bit, provision will be made for you to study online. So that's not a problem at all. We want to make sure that you feel safe and supported, and that's our main aim of having you to come and study with us. So that's really, really important to us, and I just want to reassure you of that. So next slide, please. So that is the end of the webinar. I want to thank you all very, very much for listening, and I hope you took in lots of useful information from this. If you did want to get in contact with the university in any way at all, you're more than welcome to get in touch with any of the following email addresses that you can see on the screen. So my name is Misha Budd, and my contact details are first on that list. So if you've got any questions at all, or wanted to check the status of an application or anything like that, you're more than welcome to get in contact with me directly. And we've got our undergraduate and postgraduate admissions team contact address, and the meet and greet service, our sort of general inquiries team, and also our international advice and guidance team that can provide support on visas, and our accommodation office as well. Just one thing to note, so these are all sort of the University of Liverpool specific contact details. However, Shiksha is one of our partners, and we work very closely with them to make sure that our students do feel supported. So if you've got any questions, or you'd like support with your application, with your visas, anything like that, please reach out to the Shiksha team, and they'd be very, very happy to help you also. So thank you very much for listening. I'd be very happy to answer any questions if anybody has any additional questions.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions for you.
No problem at all.
Okay, so the first question is that a student has written, I saw on website that some programs have 2 start dates due to COVID-19. Can I reconfirm?
Yes, so some of our programs will have 2 start dates. There's only a small number of programs that have 2 start dates. With this, our admissions team will be in touch with you, and they'll ask you to confirm which start date is your preference. So it's entirely up to you which start date you go for. That's completely your decision. So if you wanted to start earlier, that's absolutely fine with us. Also, if you wanted to go for the later start date, again, that is perfectly acceptable. We've sort of implemented the 2 start dates to make sure that we cater for our students. So if you have an option of 2, yes, that is available, and it's up to you to choose which one is more suitable.
Okay, now I have one question from Clemson. He's asking that you mentioned about the sports scholarship. So, if a student has been a state level player, but after that he has worked for 3 years, will this be considered as for sports scholarship? The gap?
So with our sports scholarship, the reason that the sports scholarship is there is not necessarily because you've played a sport, it's because it's to support you with continuing your sport. So I suppose that it depends on whether you're planning to continue with your sporting. So if you retake it up, we would consider an application from you. But if you weren't planning on sort of starting up that sporting achievement, then it's unlikely that you would receive that because the purpose of the scholarship is to support you with that sport.
Okay. Fine. Next question from Ashish Patnaik. He's asking, will the university help students to build their CV stronger so that they can apply for other universities for their post-grad programs?
Yes, of course. So we don't, obviously, we're very happy that students want to come and study at Liverpool, but if there's a different postgraduate programme that you're interested in at another university, we'd be very happy to help you. So that's not a problem at all. We don't take any offence, so don't worry. So our careers team are very, very happy to make sure that you build up your careers and your CV to achieve what you want to achieve. So at the end of the day, it's very much all about you and making sure that it's your career ambition that's fulfilled. So yes, 100% we're able to support that.
Okay. So student, one more thing, in case you want to ask question directly to the panelist, you can click on the raise hand tab. Once you click on that, I will unmute you and then you can ask your question directly. So I can see Anshu. Anshu, I am unmuting you and you can ask your question directly to Misha. You have self-muted yourself. Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. I was asking about a program that is Masters in International Relations. And do I need any kind of work experience to get admitted in this university? And for what the work experience is needed?
So we don't ask for work experience for a lot of our programs. So international relations, sort of that area, you wouldn't need any work experience for. The main area that we ask for work experience is for our MBA program. So if you wanted to study an MBA, we'd ask for a very minimum of 3 years work experience. But for the majority of the other programs, there's no work experience required.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all.
Thank you, Anshu. Okay, I'm unmuting Janvi Oja. You can ask your question directly to Misha.
Yeah, hello, I'm Janvi. I hope you're fine. Yeah.
I'm well,
So,
thank you.
yeah. So I'm a civil engineering background student. I've already worked as a research student, and right now I'm working at a company as a research engineer. So my question is, will I be like allowed to continue a research which I'm already doing, which I did in my bachelor's, and will I be having the advantage of a fee waiver in order to continue my research on sustainability?
So is this a PhD program that you're interested in then for a research?
No, not exactly. I'm looking for a master's, like postgraduate research.
Okay, so we do offer sort of research master's programs, but we do have sort of a limited list of the research areas that we have for master's programs. So if you were interested in a master's in research, I'd recommend to have a look on our website. Is it mainly around the sort of, was it sustainable engineering and structural engineering that was your background?
I'm a civil engineering background.
Civil engineering background. So the only sort of master's program that we offer is in sustainable civil and structural engineering. So that's the only master's program that we offer. We do offer lots of PhD sort of research opportunities within that area, but we don't offer sort of a master's of research, if that makes sense. So we only offer the short masters, So if you wanted to go more into research, I would recommend that a PhD is more suitable for you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Thank you, Janvi. Okay, next, I am unmuting Shashwat. Shashwat, you can ask your question to the panelists.
Hello,
Hi Shashank, how are you?
I'm doing good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help you today?
So basically, I am currently in class 12th. So
Mm-hmm.
how can I build a good CV for myself, and is IELTS and how does IELTS affect my profile and resume? Is that mandatory or is it important?
So what was that, to have a CV? Is it mandatory to have a CV?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's not mandatory to have a CV, but it is advantageous to your application. In terms of if you're applying for a bachelor's programme, you'd apply through something called UCAS, which stands for Universities and Colleges Admission Service. And as part of your application, you submit all your basic details, and you also submit something called a statement of purpose. And that would be the main area that you talk about your experience. So in your statement of purpose, you're essentially answering the question, why should the admissions tutor give you a place? And why should they pick you to study at the university? So instead of a CV, that's where you would talk about that information. So that's where you talk about your interests, sort of your career ambitions, any work experience that you have, any societies, any sports, any music, anything like that you'd mention in your statement of purpose. And the sort of, just to give you a bit of advice on what you should be included within that, I would say all of the things that I just listed show that you're a very well-rounded individual. So our admissions tutors, they'll be able to see from your standard 12 grades that you've achieved the grades to get into the university, but from your statement of purpose, that's just showing who you are as a person. So it's showing that you're a very well-rounded individual and that you'll be able to contribute to university life. So that's what we're looking for within that statement of purpose. So it's not necessarily a CV, but it is showcasing your experience and why you should be picked for the course.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all.
Okay, now I'm unmuting Sai Shankar. Sai, you can
Hello,
ask
ma'am.
your question.
Yeah, hello, ma'am. I'm
So,
Sai Shankar.
hi,
My
nice
question
to
is
meet you.
regarding. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I went through the university website. There I came across a course related to electrical engineering, which offers 2 years of program, and in the second year they are providing an internship in industrial experience. So, what is the probability of getting a job after the industrial internship?
So,
International student, being an international student, what are the probabilities for us to get employed?
yeah, of course. So with those 2-year programs, we offer those programs as both a 1-year and a 2-year program. So the first year is the teaching, and then as you correctly stated, the second year is a year in industry. So the placement isn't guaranteed. So you're very right, you have to apply for those. But we don't have sort of set probabilities or percentages, but we have had many international students that have gone on to those industry placements. And this, I suppose the most important thing of that is making sure that you've got the right support available for you, because that will help you get the placement. So with that, our careers team, specifically within the School of Engineering or Electronic Engineering, they'll have their contacts with companies. So they'll be able to know exactly what the previous students have gone on to do and how the previous students represented themselves in interviews. So we know that that's what employers are looking for. So we're able to train you and make sure that you're very well prepared for all of your interviews, and sort of hopefully be successful in securing one of those placements. So as I say, we don't have sort of a set percentage, but I can confirm that we definitely have had many international students that have gone on to those industry placements.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the
No problem at all. No problem.
Okay, I have one more student. Bianca, I am unmuting you. You can ask your question. Bianca, I think you have self-muted yourself.
Hello.
Hi, Bianca.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So I have few questions for you.
Of course.
I'll be looking for doing my master's in human resource. So I want to know if the course offered is CIPD accredited. Is it?
So yes. So our human resource management course is CIPD accredited, yeah.
Okay. And what about the campus in London? Is it still on?
No, so we don't actually have our London campus anymore. So we're just based out of Liverpool. So we sort of closed our London campus to really focus in and hone in on that students are getting the right support, and we sort of provide those very high quality courses. So it's just our Liverpool campus now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And also, are there any specific requirements me having job experience or something?
Sorry, you went a little bit quiet then. Would you be able to repeat your question?
Do I need a specific job experience for it?
So no, there's no sort of specific requirement of experience. You can apply directly from your bachelor's degree. Work experience is it's always an advantage, but it's other than, as I say before, other than our MBA program, it's not really a requirement for our courses. So you can, as I say, just apply directly from your bachelor's.
Okay, so then am I eligible for having a 50% fee waiver? Is that
so
since it's an MSc course?
Yeah, so it would be an MSc course, so you would be considered for it. But as I say, it's not necessarily based just on your grades or anything like that. It's based on your whole application. So I wouldn't be able to tell you right now that yes, you'd be eligible for that. I can tell you that you'd be considered for it. But our scholarships team will read everybody's application and they'll process that and sort of make a decision based on the applications that they read. So sort of yes and no, really. You'll be considered, but I can't tell you that you definitely get it.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
No problem at all. Thank you, you too.
Okay, next question from Ibrahim. I am unmuting you. Ibrahim, I think you have self-muted yourself.
Hello. Yes, now I'm audible.
Yes, yeah. You are.
Yes. I'm speaking from India and I reside in Kuwait. And I'm studying.
Low. Ibrahim, can you speak a bit louder?
Yes. Okay. I'm speaking from India and I reside in Kuwait. I'm an Indian, but I live in Kuwait. And I have completed my 12th standard and from Indian course. Like I have done NIOS because I'm doing Islamic studies. So after now I have finished my Islamic studies and I want to join the Liverpool, this university. So is it possible to join on this Indian degrees? Do you accept these Indian degrees?
Yes, so we accept qualifications from all over the world, so that's not a problem at all. What I would say is that our admissions team will review any qualification and they'll make a decision based on that. So you're more than welcome to submit an application.
Yes, and my second question is that I want to do BBA in business analytics. So this university has business analytics course or no?
Yes, we do. It's called Business Analytics and Big Data.
Yes.
Is it an undergraduate, or postgraduate? So is it a bachelor's or a master's that you were looking for?
I'm looking for bachelor's right now. And after I have to join my father's business, and after that I will come for MBA, like for the master's. Right.
Okay.
But now at present I'm looking for bachelor's.
Okay, so my apologies. I thought you were looking at the master's program. So in terms of our master's programs, we do offer business analytics and big data. but for our undergraduate programs, we don't offer a specific course in business analytics. We offer courses in sort of business management and international business. And then from that sort of degree, you'll then be able to.
No, I want, yes, ma'am, but it is not available in this university right now?
Not directly for business analytics, but as I say, we offer business management and international business contain modules of business analytics within them.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So next question is from Daira. Daira, you can ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
Ma'am, I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for asking.
Ma'am, actually, I'm in currently 12th standard, and I'm really looking forward to pursue my undergraduate course in accounting and financing. So, ma'am, my question is whether there'll be any benefit for the student in class 12th who will be scoring 90% or more in their 12th standard. Means will be there any fee reduction or something like that?
Yeah, so over 90% you'd receive our Vice Chancellor's International Attainment Scholarship. So that would be a £2,500 tuition fee reduction in your first year of studies.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
No problem at all, no problem. Good luck with your application.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daira. Okay, we'll take up some questions students have posted. So I have a question from Bilal. He's saying that I'm a teacher and I've completed my MCom degree. I want to do MBA. Is it possible?
So we accept students from all backgrounds onto the MBA programme. So you are very welcome to submit an application for our MBA programme, providing that you've got work experience. So as long as you've got a minimum of 3 years work experience and that you've got experience of managing people, projects and budgets, that will be our requirements for the MBA programme.
Okay. Okay, one more question from Arjun. He's asking, does the university offer MS in engineering management? If yes, what kind of background does the university require?
Yeah, so in terms of the engineering courses that we have to offer, we have a few different ones. We don't offer sort of specific engineering management. So we offer sort of aerospace engineering, advanced manufacturing, mechanical engineering, biomedical. We do offer product design and management, and that's still a master's in engineering course, but it's not necessarily sort of project management. But in terms of sort of the qualifications that we'd ask prior to this course, it would be sort of an engineering or science background that we'd ask for.
Okay. Moving to the next question. This is from Yamini. She's asking, do you require any work experience for MBA program, or GMAT score would be considered, or you require both?
So we don't ask for a GMAT score, so you don't need to sit the GMAT in order to get entry onto the course. If you have got a GMAT score, you're welcome to submit that as part of your application. As I say, it's not a requirement, but it's something additional that you can submit. And as I've just said, our work experience for the MBA programme is a minimum of 3 years work experience, and we'd ask for that experience of managing people, projects and budgets.
Okay, next question. This is from Kezia. He's asking, if I want to pursue law program from the university, and if I want to pursue law course from the university, will it be recognized in India?
Sorry, what was that? You broke up a little bit.
If I want to pursue law program from the university in UK, will it be recognized in India as well?
So I believe so. Rishma, are you still there? Do you know the answer to this question at all, since you're studying for the law degree?
Yeah, it is. It's recognized by the Bar Council of India. So if you want to practice in India, again, you have to come and sit the Bar Council exam over here. But yeah, the degree, I think all of the degree studied in England and Wales is recognized in India. But if you go to the Bar Council website, you have a list of universities which are recognized. But I know that Liverpool is recognized by the Bar Council of India. So you can practice here if you want to, but you have to sit the exam again.
Perfect. Thank you, Ishma.
Sure.
No problem.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, so we have some common questions regarding if a student applies for a law program, what would be the job prospect after the program? So these are 2-3 questions which are very common from students.
Okay, so in terms of job prospects after a law degree, a lot of people think that the only sort of jobs that you can go into are a solicitor or barrister, and they are definite routes that you can take. And as Rishma stated, you can go back and practice in India, so that's not a problem at all. You just have to sit the bar exam. In terms of additional work that you can go into, there's actually so many different areas of law that you can go into. So for example, I did a law degree and I've never wanted to practice law. I just found it so interesting and I love the research side of law. So I'm hoping to go back and do a master's and do a PhD, so further study. And I want to become a professor. So that's sort of my goal really with studying for my law degree. And then also lots of employers, sort of like general management companies as well, they really appreciate the skills that lawyers have. So you can actually go into a variety of different sort of management employers or contracts. That's something that's really sort of available for law students. I think a lot of employers see law students as very highly qualified, purely because of what you have to study sort of as part of your degree. So we're very sort of determined, we're very good at communication, we're very good at sort of putting forward our own arguments, we're very articulate, we're good at research, we're good at teamwork. So all of these skills mean that you're very, very well set up to go into many different areas. So actually, don't just think, oh, I can only go into law and practice. Actually, there's so many different things out there, both related to law and not related to law as well.
Yeah. Okay, students, if you have any more questions, you can still click on raise bar. We don't see any more new questions coming in.
No problem.
Okay. So with this, we come to the end of the presentation. Students, if you can see in the screen the contact details of the university. You can get in touch with the university in case you have further questions, or you can also get in touch with Siksha at studyabroad@siksha.com, and the counselors for UK will be able to help you with your queries. So with this, we come to the end of the presentation. Thank you so much, Misha. Thank you so much, Rishma, for taking out time today. We are again 30 minutes overboard, but still it was a very fruitful and very informative session. And thank you so much for coming in and giving such wonderful information to the students.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much for hosting this. It's been great to sort of meet you virtually and sort of meet all the students as well. So we really appreciate your support.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.